I welcome you today to Godwill Cyber Talk and Life Hack channel, where we learn Cybersecurity Operations Center pathway through the lens of TryHackMe. And today we are going to be looking at SOC Workbooks and Lookups. Without much further talking, let's go to the introduction and explain what we have today. Alert triage is a complex process that often requires analysts to gather additional information about affected employee and server. Hence, SOC workbooks and lookup. Our learning objective today is to familiarize ourselves with SOC investigation workbooks. Also, learn where to find and how to use asset inventory in SOC. Also, understand the importance of corporate network diagrams, and lastly, practice workflow building inside an interactive interface. Without much further ado, let's answer the first question. Now we move to task 2, asset and identity. What are assets and what are identity? Assets are the essentials, the informations that are needed to be protected, while identity are the forms, individuals, and practice to identify who, what, where, when, and how an incident occurred within a network. Now we have a scenario here that says, imagine having a night shift and looking into an alert that says G. Baker logged into the HQ FINFS 02 server and then downloaded the financial report US 2024 Excel spreadsheet. And also, he went further to share that same file to Ireland. To correctly triage this alert, if it comes up on your SIM2, what do? You need to answer 3 major questions. Who is G. Baker? What are their working hours and roles in the company? Also, what is the purpose and location of the HQ FINFS 02? And who can access such file? Lastly, we are to answer why could Ireland need access to the financial records? That moves us down to identity inventory. Identity inventory is a type of catalog that helps us to see the role of each and every person in the company. So we move down to see the examples in the identity inventory. We have the name, username, the email, the role, the location, and the assets. As you can see, number 1 is Gregory Baker, which the username is gbaker, email gbaker@tryhackme.htm. The role of gbaker is Chief Financial Officer, location Europe, UK, assets VPN HQ Finance. Now, let us look at some of the sources of identities. For solutions, we have Active Directory, SSO providers, file systems with custom solutions. Some of the popular examples in the market that can provide us with these solutions, we have on-prem, AD and Entra ID, Okta and Google Workspace. For the HR system, we have Bamboo HR, SAP, and HiBob. And for the custom solution, CSV and Excel sheet. For the description, you can read them yourselves. So now we'll move down to asset inventory. Now, for the asset inventory, they are also called the lookup. They are a list of computer resources within the IT environment. Let us note that while asset is a vague term, it can also refer to software, hardware, or employees. So in this room, we will emphasize on server and workstations only. Now, let us look at the examples of assets. So we have the host name, location, IP address, operating system, which is called the OS, owners, and the purpose. Now, if you look at the first one, we have HQ FINFS 02. which is one of the portals that was logged in by G. Baker. The location is UK data center, the IP is this, and the OS is Windows Server 22. The owner is Central IT, and what is the purpose? File server for financial record. Now let us look at the sources. We have Active Directory, we have SIM or EDR, we have MDM solutions, we have custom solutions. Example, same thing, on-prem AD and Entra ID. We have Elastic and CrowdStrike. We have MS Intune and Jamf MDM. We have Excel and CSV. For the description, you can also further read it yourself. Now let's move to answer the questions below. Looking at the identity inventory, what is the role of Ireland in the company? Let's go back and look at our identity inventory. Rayland, also known as Ireland, is the US financial advisor. So we can copy this, come down to paste it here. Question 2. Checking the asset inventory. What data does the HQFINFSO2 server stores? Let us go back to asset. It stores financial records. We can copy this, come down and paste it here. Financial record. Finally, does the sharing from the scenario look legitimate? We can say yes. Is because the two persons that has shared the financial file work in the same company and also in the same department. As we can see, G. Baker and Ireland, they both work in finance. One is the chief financial officer, while the other one is the US financial advisor. So let us move to task 3, network diagram. We have a network diagram for us to analyze and solve the questions below. Continuing identity and asset inventory topic, you might also need to look at the alert from a network point of view. Remember, everything happens over a network, especially in bigger companies. Consider the scenario where you are investigating a chain of related alerts based on firewall logs and want to give some meaning to the IPs you see. The first IP is at 8 o'clock and the IP is 103 and the rest. They said it's repeatedly connecting to a corporate firewall via TCP 10443. The second one is at 823. Firewall log shows that the IP was translated to an internal IP of 10.10.053. The third one at 825 shows that the IP is scanning 172.16.15.0/24 network range but does not find an open port. This is telling you that there is something fishy. While number 4 at 832, the same IP is now scanning 172.16.23.0/24 network range, and the attack seems to be ongoing. Now let us look at the diagram below. We have threat actors, website visitors, VPN users. We have the cloud, and also we have the firewall, and also we have the company's infrastructure, which are database subnets, different important users in the company, then Office subnet servers. Now let us move down to answer the questions. Number 1, according to the network diagram, which service is exposed on the TCP/10443 port? The service that is exposed from here, looking at this, is the VPN. Our answer is VPN. Our Question 2. Now, which subnet would the server behind 172.168.1.5.99 IP belong to? Now, let's come to the diagram to see which subnet it belongs to. Database subnet is our answer. So we can say database subnet. Copy and also paste. Finally, does the scenario look like a true positive or false positive? Yes, it is a true positive. Why? Because we have seen consistent attack and we have seen that a present attack is going on, meaning they were able to bypass the firewall. Task 4, web book theory. In our SOC workbook, our SOC workbook is also called a playbook, a run book, or a workflow. This is a structured document that defines the steps required to investigate and remediate specific threats efficiently and consistently. Let's look at the workbook example. We have 3 stages: the enrichment stage, the investigation stage, and the escalation stage. For the enrichment stage, this is where we use threat intelligence and identity inventory to gather information about the affected user. We receive the alert, we assign it to ourselves, we try to see what transpired, how it transpired, and how we can respond to that alert. So, number 2, we have the investigation stage. This is using the gathered data and SIM logs. Make your verdict if the log in is expected. The last, escalation stage. Escalate the alert to L2 or communicate the login with the user if necessary. Let's move to the questions below. Which SOC roles would use workbooks the most? SOC L1 analyst is our answer. Question number 2. What is the process of gathering user, host, or IP context using TI and lookups? Enrichment. Enrichment is used to gather information about an event. Question number 3. Looking at the workbook example, what platform is used as an identity inventory source? During the enrichment stage, we saw they use Bamboo HR. To confirm this, we can inspect this page. By inspecting, we can increase what we have here and see what we have. The flowchart showing the process from receiving the login alert through identity enrichment via Bamboo HR. So Bamboo HR is going to be our answer. Bamboo HR. Now that we are done with this part, we move to task 5, which is our practice task. And we are going to answer the question. We open our on-site and we answer the question. We have an email analysis. Here, first and foremost, remember, you take charge. Assign the alert to yourself. We look for taking ownership. We take ownership, which is number 1. Since we are talking about email, we investigate the SPF, the DKIM of that email. After we investigate the SPF and the DKIM, we analyze the email in a sandbox. After that, we are going to analyze if the attachment is malicious or the origin is fake or the email is unexpected for the recipient role. If no, we give our verdict. We write a verdict. Then if yes, we gather everything that we have gotten and we escalate to our L2. When we escalate to our L2, the L2 takes it on from there. Now we copy this, we come here and we paste. Now we move to the next one. We have a PowerShell. What is the first thing you do? You take ownership. Assign that alert to yourself first. After we assign to ourselves, we use threat intelligence analysis to analyze the URL and perform static analysis of the downloaded executable file. From there, we build a process tree to know the parent process, the grandparent process, the account that is used to start the PowerShell. Now, after that, we are to make a decision. Is the file malicious, downloaded from untrusted resource or trusted resource, originate from a suspicious process? If no, we write our explanation on why we think it is safe or not safe. Then also, if it is yes, we save the result of everything that has happened and we escalate it to our L2. We escalate it to our L2. From here, we copy and also we paste. Then we move to the last one. The last one is network analysis. In our network analysis, you assign to yourself first. After you assign to yourself, you list the ports. After listing the ports, you check the source. After checking the source, here you come to make a decision. Is the source IP unlisted or listed? Does the scanning pattern remind you of a malicious discovery attempt? If no, write a comment about your verdict. If yes, collect more evidences and do what? Escalate to your L2. Now that you escalate, we have a flag. We copy and we paste. So now we come to tag 6, which is the conclusion. Remember, if everyone can teach everyone, what a safe and better place the world will be. Thank you very much for watching. Kindly like, subscribe, and share.